Movies have always been a safe place for all, with actors and filmmakers causing us to feel a range of emotions, from melancholy to enthusiasm to exhilaration to anticipating the outcome. And what better place to stream TV series than Netflix? Netflix has what you're looking for if you want to watch a brand new, excellent show. The streaming service boasts a big library of both new and vintage shows, so there is something for everyone. Additionally, new shows are constantly being added to Netflix, so it changes constantly. We have put together a list of top 10 international web series on Netflix that you should see. We based our choices on this week's Netflix ratings, the numbers of hours watched, and the reaction of the globe to these films. And it includes both English and non-English language films. Hi and welcome to the channel. Please kindly like this video and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this, and be sure to watch to the end. Number 10, we have Selling the OC. Selling high-end realtors attempting to succeed in Orange Country, California are the focus of the OC, which is Netflix's latest Selling Sunset spin-off. Jason and Brett Oppenheim, identical twins, manage a real estate brokerage company like they do in Los Angeles. The newest franchise, in contrast to Selling Sunset, has an office full of both men and women. Many of the Oppenheim's group's female realtors are single, in contrast to the majority of married realtors. This series receives a rating of 5.5 over 10 on IMDb and 18,680,000 hours of viewing between last week and this week on Netflix. It has spent 1 week in the top 10 on Netflix and also bagged its place as part of the top 10 series in 19 different countries. If you are willing to put in the effort, this series can be worth your time. Number 9, we have Manifest. The first episode of Jeff Rake's American supernatural drama television series, Manifest, aired on NBC on September 24, 2018. The focus is on the passengers and crew of a commercial airliner who unexpectedly surfaced after going missing for 5.5 years and were thought to be dead. Josh Dallas, Athena Kirkanis, J.R. Ramirez, Luna Blaze, Jack Messina, Parvin Kaur, Matt Long, and Holly Taylor are among the actors who appear in it. The first season's remaining episodes were ordered by NBC in October 2018, and the show was then renewed for a second season that premiered in 2020 and a third in 2021. After 3 seasons, the show was cancelled by NBC in June 2021. Netflix decided to revive Manifest for a 4th and final season with 20 episodes, with Part 1 releasing on November 4, 2022, after the show was added just before it was cancelled and promptly topped the watching statistics. It has a 7.1 over 10 rating on IMDb and is ranked in the top 10 in 53 countries on Netflix. Has received 19,110,000 hours of viewing only this week and also used about 17 weeks in the top 10. Taking the number 8 spot, we have Cleo. A former espionage murderer gets released after the fall of the Berlin Wall and goes on a murderous rampage against those who plotted to betray her. Cleo, a German thriller on Netflix that will make you think of Killing Eve, is a delightfully deadly show. This is why its protagonist Cleo is a brazen female assassin who parades around in disguise wearing wigs and kills people while listening to pop music. Her plot is reminiscent of Tarantino's film like Inglourious Bastard and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which play fast and loose with historical truths. It is set just before and after the fall of Berlin Wall in 1989. It gives the collapse of communism a humorous spin, rating 7.4 over 10 on IMDb and top 10 on Netflix in 42 countries, and 21,570,000 hours watched in a week, 1 week in top 10. Number 7, Stranger Things. In the short time since 2016 premiere, Stranger Things, one of Netflix's most well-liked original series, has established itself as a cultural icon. The series' sci-fi aims are made plain in opening sequence. While waiting for an elevator door to close, a scientist escapes down an empty hallway, followed by an unknown entity that eventually captures him. The scene then switches to a group of children playing D&D in a suburban basement. From the enigmatic creature terrorizing the imagined Indiana hamlet to the covert government agency pursuing the youngsters who came across it, The series is steeped in nostalgia for 80s genres. Stranger Things contains a bit of Stephen King, Steven Spielberg, and John Hughes, and as a result, it is a show that will immediately seem familiar to viewers who grew up with those sources. A total of 23,640,000 hours were watched in a single week, with an IMDb rating of 8.7 over 10, spending 14 weeks in the top 10 on Netflix and ranking in the top 10 in 39 different countries. Number 6, we have Never Have I Ever. A young woman who decides she wants to alter her life and improve her social standing after the death of her father is the subject of this coming-of-age dramedy, Never Have I Ever. A young Indian woman raised in America named Devi Vishwakumar, Maitreyi Ramakrishnan, discovers that her family and friends aren't entirely supportive of this renaissance. Regarded as a standout in a crowded field of coming-of-age dramedies on Netflix, deftly balances the difficulties of grieving, being a first-generation American, and finding yourself in a crowd of loved ones with the traditional hazards of high school-like teen romance and popularity. The third season of the show debuts on August 12. Top 10 in 57 countries on Netflix, which has held the top 10 slot for 3 weeks and has an IMDb rating of 7.8 over 10 and has received 25,640,000 hours of viewing in a week. Massive! And starting the top 5, we have a Korean drama holding this position, Alchemy of Souls. This movie has received a lot of high praise and I can say it's a great movie. If you're a fan of Korean drama, this is a must-watch. The most recent fantasy K-drama, Alchemy of Souls, centers on what happens to Wonhonsul, or more simply put, the fate of the souls of the dead who return to the world of the living. The action of the novel occurs in Daeho, the home of the illustrious Jang family, of which Jang Wook is a member. When Jang Wook encounters an elite warrior, she discovers that her spirit is imprisoned in a frail body. She becomes Jang Wook's servant while privately training him on how to fight. Alchemy of Souls plunges these characters into a chaotic adventure with flimsy hints of fantasy, horror, and romance. With an 8.7 over 10 rating on IMDb, the top 10 movies in 24 countries on Netflix, a 9-week run in top 10, and a week's worth of viewing time of 28,590,000 hours. Number 4. High Heat. Jose Ignacio Valenzuela, who also created the Who Killed Sarah television series, is the creator of the Mexican drama streaming television series High Heat. The show debuted on Netflix on August 17, 2022 in every country. Poncho sets out to track out the murderer and exact retribution because he wants to look into his brother's killing more completely. His trail goes to a fire station in the residential area of Mexico City. He enters the fire station covertly and starts his investigation while carrying out hazards of his regular fireman duties. Olivia, the sole female fireman at the station, is one of his co-workers who helps him in his quest for the truth after learning Poncho's true motives. Ricardo Urza, who is accused of killing multiple women, is also nearing the end of his prison term. As his recovery program progresses, he makes every effort to take over as guard chief and searches for explanation for both himself and his child, who is unaware of his past. Top 10 in 56 countries with a whopping 53,390,000 hours in a week and a grip on the top 10 slot for almost 2 weeks. Number 3, we have The Sandman. Tom Sturridge plays Morpheus, the ruler of the dream world, in this adaptation of Neil Gaiman's renowned comic book series. Morpheus is inadvertently imprisoned by a cruel occult dabbler, which sets off the story that spans several generations and numerous realms and eventually endangers humanity's destiny. The Sandman, a project that has been developed for more than 2 decades, was once thought to be impossible to adapt correctly, but the series somehow manages to weave together the captivating tales and impactful concept of Gaiman's well-known fantasy narrative, with it being in the top 10 in 89 countries on Netflix, holding that position for 4 weeks and counting 53,790,000 viewing hours in a week, and a 9.4 over 10 rating on IMDb. This is also one of my favorites. Number 2 spot, we have another Korean drama taking this spot, Extraordinary Attorney Woo, Park Yoon-bin plays the titular character in the 2022 South Korean television series Extraordinary Attorney Woo, which also stars Kang Tae-oh, Kang Ki-young, Ha Young-kyung, and Jung Jong-hyuk. From June 29 to August 18, 2022, it was shown on ENA. In ENA history, Extraordinary Attorney Woo received the highest rating. Extraordinary Woo Young-woo, a lawyer with autism spectrum disorder, follows her single father as he raises the autistic lawyer. Has a friend who shields her from bullying at school, Donghae Rami Ju Yun-young. She is the top student in her Seoul National University Law School graduating class. Her disability makes it impossible for anyone to hire her. She does, however, land her first position at Hanaba, a sizable Seoul legal firm, thanks to a fatherly relationship. Because of her sharp mind and photographic memory, Attorney Woo can retain law and nearly anything she reads, observes, or hears with absolute clarity. This has received 53,890,000 viewing hours in just 1 week, is in the top 10 on Netflix in 46 countries, has an IMDb rating of 8.4 out of 10, and has been in the top 10 for nearly 8 weeks. Even the possibility of an international remake has surfaced in the US. And number 1, Echoes. Lenny and Gina, who are identical twins and have been surreptitiously exchanging lives since they were youngsters, are portrayed in an Australian television series by Michael Monaghan, Gone Baby Gone. The disappearance of one of the sisters triggers a chain of events that devastates both of their lives. 68,490,000 hours of viewing in a week, 2 weeks in the top 10 on Netflix, and the top 10 in 86 different countries on Netflix. This is fantastic! Well, there you have it. I hope you had fun while watching this. Kindly like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we would love to hear from you. Kindly drop your comments in the comment section below. You can also stay back, relax, and watch one or more videos. Till we see you in the next video, Netflix and chill.